in this final lesson of the day, or of the chapter, I should say, what we want to talk about here is the last progressive president, a guy who's going to take over, and he's going to run all the way pretty much up through the end of World War I, which is going to be 1918. So what you're going to see here then in the election of 1912, you're going to see Woodrow Wilson run as a Democrat. That's the guy who's going to lead us all the way up to 1920. You can see him here. Many Democrats like Woodrow Wilson. You're going to see, for the first time in American history, at least in a long time, we're going to see a really competitive race where there's three political parties. Now, you know that there's typically only two political parties, right? You know there are Democrats and Republicans. And for the most part, those Democrats and Republicans, it's like 50-50 in our country. Really, it's not anything crazy like where you might see that like half of America supports one group of people, half of America supports another group of people. It's not like that at all. Army less than half, or it's all one side or the other. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. It's about 50-50. You can see it there in the chart. And we're going to add a third political party here because, as we mentioned in yesterday's lesson, as the election of 1912 comes in, and we're going to see the end of William Howard Taft's time in office, because remember he took power in office in like 1908. So what you're going to see here then is Teddy Roosevelt want to get back in the ring because he really thought that Taft was going to break that system of cooperation and regulation that he'd worked so hard to put into place by busting up too many of those trusts. So what we're going to see here in this last section is how there'll be a three-way runoff between Taft, the Republican, between Teddy Roosevelt, who's going to come back and say, I want to be president again, creating his own party called the Progressive Party or the Bull Moose Party, and you're going to see Woodrow Wilson want to be the Democrat. So again, just break it up. You got the Republican Party, which is going to split pretty hardcore into diehard Republicans who are going to go for Taft, 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 Taft. Progressive Republicans are going to switch parties for this election and vote with the Progressive Party, the Bull Moose Party. And then, of course, Teddy Roosevelt, who says, you know what, I'm out of the Republican Party, and I'm taking those progressive Republicans with me. I'm going to make the Progressive Party. It's going to be called the Bull Moose Party because I'm fit as a bull moose. That's the line that Teddy says when he's asked if he's ready for president. He says, I'm fit as a bull moose. And let me tell you, like, bull moose, it's crazy, crazy, man. We'll see tomorrow in class. We'll do some bull moose stuff in class. And you get the Democrats like Woodrow Wilson. Now, if you're thinking that, like, what's going to happen here? What does this look like? Like, if you took this original graph, which was the two parties, Republicans and Democrats. We'll resize this one so they're about the same size so you can get a feel for what we're talking about. And you've got a country with two parties about 50-50 split, right? And then you add in a third party. Well, in this case, what happens here, and you can see it right above my head, the Republican Party diehards are going to stay with Taft. It's going to be very, very small number of Republicans stay with Taft. But they're not going to switch votes. They're going to vote Republican no matter what. The Bull Moose Party picks up most of those Republicans that you can see right there under my lightsaber. And then most Democrats are going to stick with Wilson. There are some that will switch over and vote for Teddy Roosevelt and the Progressive Party, but not too many. So what you're going to end up with here is this three-way race where it's going to be really close between the Bull Moose Party, the Progressive Party of Teddy Roosevelt, and the Democratic Party of Woodrow Wilson. How it all plays out, though, depends upon the voters.